In the early morning hours of January the 7th, 1916, hundreds of steelworkers gathered around where I'm standing now, in front of the Youngstown Sheet and Tube Hospital on Short Street, in what was East Youngstown and what is today the city of Camel. They sang, danced, gave speeches, and lit bonfires. Most of the men had been out on strike since Christmas, but until this point, very few outside the region had paid attention to the steelworkers' demands or to housing conditions inside of East Youngstown. But all of that was about to change. By the year of World War I, East Youngstown was the largest incorporated village in Ohio, but trouble lurked beneath the surface. A virtual company town, most of the men worked for Youngstown Sheet and Tube or Republic Iron and Steel. While they lived in substandard housing, and as inflation ate away their wages, the companies they worked for prospered from the surging cost of steel as the war in Europe raged. Increasingly angry, men began to go out on strike at Republic Steel. The work stoppages spread, and ultimately 16,000 men in local industry walked off the job. On January 7th, steel company guards and off-duty cops confronted strikers at a footbridge over Wilson Avenue. No one knows exactly what happened next, but after the guards fired on strikers, 3 men had died and many more were injured. Soon, flames began to shoot from a sheet and tube office not far from the bridge. The fire and violence spread to the East Youngstown business district, and 12 hours of rioting and chaos followed. Looters made off with everything from mattresses to cash registers and cases of booze. Entire buildings collapsed into the street as people ran to avoid the growing flames. Modest buildings and esteemed edifices, such as the Hammery Bank, went up in smoke. Firefighters responding to the blaze had to retreat in the face of hostile crowds. Power even went out in nearby Struthers, and crowds gathered in the street to watch the flames dance across the nearby skyline of East Youngstown. The next day, units from the state militia occupied the area and order was restored. East Youngstown early Saturday morning would inspire Dante to rewrite his inferno, the Vindicator wrote. Over 25,000 curious onlookers poured into East Youngstown to witness the ruins. In the aftermath of the riot, the workers did receive a small raise, and strikes in the industry soon spread to places like Westinghouse in East Pittsburgh and Braddock, Pennsylvania. Sheet and Tube responded by embarking on a new endeavor, building safe and sanitary housing for its workers. The first of several plats of company housing emerged here off Robinson Road. Blackburn Plat, as it was called, became one of the first and most notable examples of precast concrete housing.